Good morning, good morning. I'm out here in the Ironwood Forest National Monument doing a live stream. We're stopping here at the kiosk where the map is. All right, Linda, good morning, good morning. So we're right at the edge of the Ironwood Forest National Monument. It's 129,000 acres. And I thought I would do a drive stream today and show you guys what it's like out here. I have my Starlink Mini on top of the Jeep, and I thought I would stop here at the kiosk that has the map here. Hey Ray, good morning, good morning. So I'm going to take you up to the map and show you where we're at. So here's the map of the entire area. The red outline is the border of the map. Bureau of Land Management, land out here. Ironwood Forest National Monument. They have 14-day camping. You can camp for 14 days up to a 28-day period. So then after that you have to relocate 25 miles away. And of course take your trash and all that with you. If you have a OHV, you got to have a plate and a decal. All right, let's head into the monument. It's my Starlink setup so I can stream while I'm driving, and we'll see how it works. It's a beautiful morning. I am Zaxxon. Good morning, good morning. Alright, so I'm streaming off a GoPro, so I'm just going to hand hold it as I'm driving. Good morning, Ringo and Czar. Welcome, welcome. All right, here we go. Paved a couple years ago, so it's a nice road coming out. kids living out here that catch the bus to school. So I'm not watching the chat real close since I'm driving, but I will catch up when we get out there. Someone and let them know that I'm live now. They were asking. I'm going to slow down up here. Of houses out here. There are big fancy houses like this one, and there are, you know, single wide trailers. There's no restriction on what you can what kind of house you put out here, which makes it nice. There's a prefab house over here. That has a single wide trailer, and it's a very nice one. Has been here a few years, and it works well for him and his wife. All right, coming to the end of the pavement. Here's our turn. This is the trail that goes up to Ragged Top. This has some primitive camping sites also. This is the most beautiful area out here in the entire monument, I think. Okay, let me pull over here and catch up with the chat. All right, 9 people, that's good. All these prickly pear, looks like their blooms are getting ready to come out. You can see the buds on them. So there'll be some flowers here very soon. Buds, a couple of little buds on that one. Whorls are going to be blooming here soon. Some of them have already started. Spot over there. There's the 4-wheel drive required spot. Get up over this little hump. a very old ironwood tree. The monument was named after these trees. They're a hardwood tree, unique to this area. And some of them are starting to bloom. They bloom in the summer. They have some nice pink, light pink flowers. This is an old one right here. Creosote bushes are starting to bloom, these yellow flowers. You can see them right there. When you smell rain in the desert, that's what you smell, is the creosote bushes getting wet. Lots of prickly pear. You can see this ocotillo here at the very tip has bright red flowers. They're all starting to bloom. Looking into the sun, it's hard to see them, but I'll show you one when we get up here. We're almost to the top. right here is the entrance to the trail if you wanted to hike up Ragged Top. It's not an easy hike, but we've done it. Okay, some more four-wheeling here. Okay, we made it. Okay, I'll get back to the chat here in a second. Okay, I'm going to mount the camera here. Give me 1 second. There we go. Let's see what the angle looks like here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, beautiful blue sky. Yesterday was really windy. I was going to do this yesterday, but it was much too windy. I have a really nice campsite just down the hill that I'll stop in here in a minute too. Hey, Richard Swanson, welcome, welcome. Yeah, lots of sunshine here for sure. So you're looking at Ragged Top Mountain. It's 3,800 feet elevation up to the top. And I'll show you the valley view here in a second. Here's for Deanna. This is her view of her dad. Deanna's in Louisiana, southern Louisiana. So here I am in all my glory. Still kicking it, enjoying nature. Cup of coffee in nature. Nice, peaceful, quiet. Just can't beat it. Can't beat it. Hot Soakers, hello, welcome, welcome. We're inside the Ironwood Forest National Monument, and there are no hot springs out here that I am aware of. I know that's pretty popular in the desert. None out here. So I'm streaming to you from my Wi-Fi Mini, which is situated on top of the Jeep. I'm out here in the remote desert, 129,000 acres. We're probably 50 miles away from town. There is intermittent cell service out here, but it's not very good. So this Starlink Mini works really good for remote live streaming. Okay, let me walk you around a little bit. This is my setup here. So we have Starlink at the house, and when they came out with this Mini, they advertised it as usable while you're rolling down the road. And I thought, well, I'm gonna do some drive streams with that, and it works pretty good. And I'm using a GoPro Hero 10 as my camera, and here comes the view. Let me get the camera straight here. There we go. I can't stray too far from the Jeep. Yeah, in fact, they have a sale going right now for the Starlink Minis. Normally they're about $500, but you can get one for $250 now. So if you're thinking about it, they have a 50 gigabyte plan for $50 a month. So you pay for the Starlink. You can turn it on and off as you need to. Okay, I'm going to point you into the sun down here. That's the trail we came up a little bit ago. Okay, let me see if I can make it over here. Only got low reception a couple of times here, but not totally. Okay, has my connection been holding okay? I'm going to show you these flowers. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect me. It says I still have a good signal. Okay, here's an ocotillo, and you can see it doesn't have any leaves on it, but it's got these flowers on it. Yes, you can turn it on and off, hot soakers. So you buy the Mini, you turn it on to try it out and learn how to use it, and then when you're done with it, you can turn it off. Now the billing is month to month, so if you pay for a month, you turn it off and it works, you know, at the end of the billing cycle. There's Ragged Top Mountain. That's good to know, Deanna. Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty good when you can roll around out in the remote desert like this. There are bighorn sheep that live up here too. Right up in that draw right there is a water catchment, and they have a big plate up there where they catch rainwater, divert it down into a water tank, and they keep all the critters watered up here during the summer. And this is BLM land. You can hear the birds chirping. Most of the campers have left because we hit 100 degrees a couple days ago. Seems like as soon as we hit 100 degrees, everybody skedaddles. can see all the way down into the valley down there. That's Marana, and then Tucson to the right or south. Pinell Air Park up here where they work on airplanes. San Diego Hills. These guys down here are teddy bear cholla. They are very wicked. You don't want to get close to those. We used to call them jumping cactus when we were kids. There's my old Jeep, 1998, still runs good. It's a great desert vehicle. Arlene, welcome, welcome. Okay, Ray, thank you. Slight cutout once in a while. Yeah, that's pretty typical for Starlink. It's like when it's moving to a new satellite, it'll do that. Yeah, I just love it, absolutely love it up here. I talked to my wife when I'm heading out here. She says, "Where are you going?" I said, "Ragged Top." "Why do you always go to Ragged Top?" "Well, Ragged Top calls me." I mean, this is a very unique mountain out here. It's different from all the others. Now, what do you guys think? Some people think it looks like a petrified tree. It's very different than all the other hills out here. See how raggedy it is? All the other hills are kind of rounded. Not quite as dramatic as Ragged Top is. Ran into a guy that was hiking out here. He's a geologist, and he said these are granite. He called them coarse granite. So it's not like the hard granite that you think of, like, you know, your countertop type granite. This is coarse granite, and so it crumbles, slowly crumbles as the weather beats on it. I'm gonna jump in the Jeep and drive about 100 yards down this trail, and then there's a rock outcropping right down here that's a real pretty campsite. chat here on my phone. Not so cuddly teddy bears. That's right, Linda. Yeah, Richard's familiar with the cholla cactus. I call shotgun. Well, right now the battery pack is sitting in the shotgun seat. That's how I'm powering the Starlink right there. All right, here we go down the trail. Backing up. There we go. Got kids scattered all over the place. Deanna's got 4, various ages from what, 20 to 3 years old or so. And my daughter Sheena's got 3 from 18 to 13. And they're scattered all over the country. This is a well-used fire pit right here. This is a beautiful sight right here. Interesting rock outcropping. Okay, I'm starting to lose my Wi-Fi here, so can you guys still see me? Okay, thanks, Ray. Casey Jones, hello, hello. Now, is that a view or what? That is about as good as you can get in the Sonoran Desert down here in southern Arizona. Can hear the birds. Okay, I'm going to watch for rattlesnakes while I'm walking around. It is getting warm enough for them to come out. All right, we're coming up on 55 minutes, so I'm going to run this 30 minutes and then shut it off. Seems like it was a successful live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate that. Sure, hot soakers. I don't know much about rocks or anything. There's some iron in it, I know. This gentleman said this granite out here in this area comes from the mountain ranges to the east and to the north of us too. So thanks, Ray. Appreciate it. So if you have stress in your life or you need to get away, get out into nature. Something that we like to do, especially since we live out here. It's very peaceful, very relaxing. And this is my retired life. We just love it out here. This is our paradise. All right, folks, we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.